Internet news with no filter. Welcome to News Sesh. Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're diving into a really important topic. Let's talk about the Dougherty Dozen, YouTube and TikTok's favorite mega family. 14 people under one roof. A camera running pretty much 24/7. And more food, snacks, and grocery hauls than most small towns go through in a week. They've become an empire of color-coded schedules, coordinated lunches, and never-ending Costco hauls. And while they built their brand on positivity and family life, there's an uncomfortable truth underneath the surface, an obsession with overconsumption. Because sure, a family of 12 kids needs a lot. But do they need this much? And more importantly, what happens when content, clicks, and consumption start to blend together? Today we're going deep into the world of the Dougherty Dozen, not to hate, not to nitpick, but to ask. When does family content turn into a performance of excess? For anyone who somehow missed them, the Dougherty Dozen are a New York-based family run by Mom Alicia and Dad Josh. They have 10 adopted and biological kids, plus a house that looks like a daycare center met a warehouse. Alicia runs the brand, and when I say brand, I mean it. They've got merch, sponsorships, TikTok posts that hit millions of views, and a YouTube channel documenting practically everything they do. Morning routines, lunch preps, back-to-school shopping sprees, family dinners. If there's a moment in the day, chances are it's content. And the appeal is obvious. They look like the perfect, chaotic but functional family. Alicia is the supermom who can feed 12 kids, color-code their schedules, and make it all look easy. But as their following exploded, the focus shifted. It stopped being about family life and started being about the spectacle of how much they can buy, make, and consume. Let's talk about the grocery hauls because, honestly, that's the heart of the Dougherty brand. Every week, Alicia uploads a new haul. Carts overflowing, dozens of gallons of milk, hundreds of dollars of cereal, snacks stacked taller than the kids. It's part family necessity, part reality show, part unintentional comedy. She'll walk viewers through every item. Here's 20 pounds of chicken, 16 loaves of bread, 14 boxes of waffles. And the audience eats it up, pun absolutely intended. These videos rack up millions of views. And I get it. They're fascinating to watch. It's like lifestyle ASMR for people who love seeing abundance. But let's be real. Even for a family of 14, the quantities are insane. Because there's a difference between feeding a big family and filming a feast for content. We're not just talking about the essentials here. It's the endless snacks, the themed breakfasts, the pre-packed lunches that look like a school cafeteria line. Alicia's grocery hauls often total over $1,000 a week. And that's not counting takeout nights, fast food runs, or sponsored food deliveries. At that point, it starts feeling less like feeding a family and more like feeding the algorithm. On social media, excess sells. More always equals better. More food, more kids, more chaos, more content. And Alicia has mastered that formula. Every video is designed to overwhelm you, visually and emotionally. The sound of grocery bags, the endless counter space covered in food, the bright music, Alicia's upbeat commentary. It's stimulating, almost addicting to watch. But here's the thing, the Dougherty Dozen doesn't just show abundance, they perform it. It's not just about living a big life, it's about broadcasting that bigness every day for an audience. And that performance creates a cycle. The bigger the hauls, the more views. The more views, the bigger the next haul. And around we go. The brand becomes dependent on visual proof of consumption. It's not enough to say, we're feeding a large family. They have to show it dramatically. Mountains of food, perfectly arranged, ready for the next viral TikTok. And once your income depends on that image, it's almost impossible to scale back. Even if it's wasteful. Even if it's unrealistic. Let's be honest, there's no way all that food gets eaten. Yes, they have 12 kids. But food has expiration dates. Kids are picky. People get full. No family, no matter how big, can go through 10 gallons of milk, 30 yogurts, and 12 boxes of frozen waffles in a few days, consistently, every week. It's math. It just doesn't add up. Viewers have noticed too. Comment sections are full of people asking, where does all this food go? Do they actually finish it? Is this even healthy? And Alicia's usual response is that the kids eat a lot, which might be true, but not that much. What's more likely is that a significant portion of it goes to waste, half-used snacks, spoiled produce, uneaten leftovers. It's not just a waste of money, it's a waste of resources, especially in a time when food insecurity is still a massive issue. The U.S. throws away about 30 to 40% of its food supply every year. Watching a family normalize buying in bulk, weekly for entertainment, reinforces that cycle of waste. Because on social media, no one sees the trash bags. We just see the shopping cart. And here's where it gets even more complicated. The Dougherty Dozen's content depends on that overconsumption. It's not just family life, it's business. Brands love partnering with them because they represent high-spending families. Every haul video doubles as free advertising for grocery stores and snack companies. Every viral video equals more sponsorships, more affiliate links, and more revenue. So when you think about it, the excess isn't a side effect. It's the product. Their content is literally designed around buying, using, and showing more stuff than anyone reasonably needs. And the audience rewards that. It's satisfying to watch because it's so far from what most people experience. It's the fantasy of having too much, in a world where most people are struggling with not enough. That's what makes it both fascinating and unsettling. Because even though it's just family content, it's also a reflection of consumer culture turned up to 11. Now, let's talk about us, the viewers. Because none of this exists in a vacuum. The reason the Dougherty Dozen thrives is because people can't stop watching. We say we're shocked by how much they buy, but we keep clicking. We criticize the waste, but we're addicted to the spectacle. And the algorithm knows that. Outrage and fascination are both forms of engagement. So the more people comment, "This is ridiculous," the more the video gets pushed to new viewers. And the family profits from that. That's how social media blurs the line between genuine lifestyle content and performance. At some point, it stops being a mom sharing her life and becomes a content machine built around consumption. And because the audience rewards it, there's no incentive to change. The kids grow up in front of millions of people. Every meal, every purchase, every family moment becomes monetized. What started as sharing family life has become a brand built entirely on excess. Let's zoom out for a second. The Dougherty Dozen might just be one family, but they represent a bigger cultural trend, our obsession with overconsumption. It's not just about food. It's shopping hauls, what I bought on Amazon videos, restock with me content. All of it celebrates buying, owning, and displaying more. And it's weirdly comforting. It gives us the illusion of abundance, of control, especially in uncertain times. But psychologically, it's also unhealthy. Constant exposure to that kind of content can warp our sense of normal. We start to believe that having 40 boxes of snacks in the pantry is just what functional families do. That a good mom always has a fridge packed to the brim. It creates pressure to consume, not just for the people making the content, but for the people watching it. And when that's the message kids and teens see online, that happiness equals having more stuff, we're setting up an endless cycle of comparison and waste. There's also a deeper layer here, because the Dougherty Dozen aren't just showing groceries. They're showing their kids. Constantly. Every meal, every tantrum, every private moment, all filmed, edited, and uploaded. And when those videos are monetized, it raises a real question. Are the kids part of the family or part of the brand? The line gets blurry fast. Especially when your income depends on keeping the content coming, which means keeping the kids on camera. Add that to the overconsumption element, and you get something strange. A brand that teaches both adults and children that the key to success is buying more, showing more, being more. It's not family life anymore. It's marketing. The Dougherty Dozen is just one example, but they're part of a bigger ecosystem of mega families online, families whose entire existence becomes content. They thrive because we live in a culture that equates success with visibility and visibility with consumption. You show your value through what you can buy. And the bigger your haul, the more valuable you seem. That's the logic social media rewards. So while it's easy to point fingers at the Doughertys, the truth is, they're just doing what the platform demands. The system incentivizes spectacle, and spectacle requires excess. Until audiences stop rewarding it, this cycle isn't going anywhere. At the end of the day, the Dougherty Dozen are just one family trying to make a living online. But their success exposes something much bigger: how deeply we've normalized overconsumption as entertainment. Watching people buy too much, eat too much, live too much, it's comforting, it's fascinating, but it's also disturbing. Because it's not just about groceries. It's about what we value. The Dougherty Dozen has turned family life into a spectacle of excess, and millions of us are tuning in for the show. Maybe it's time we ask ourselves why. Why do we equate abundance with happiness? Why are we so addicted to watching people buy more than they need? And when will we finally realize that enough was already enough? And that's a wrap, guys. Like if you did, subscribe for more fun. See ya.